This is part of my Ultimate Shopify tutorial series playlist linked below, or you can watch the complete 7-hour tutorial linked at the end of the video and in the description. And if you haven't already signed up for Shopify, just know that I've got a link in the description to the best current deal available for Shopify. If you've already signed up, that's perfectly fine, but if you haven't, just know that the link is down in the description below. All right, let's get into the video. So in today's video, we're going to be going through email marketing for Shopify. Now, this is something that is massively overlooked, but super important for building out a Shopify store or any online store or any website, something or anything online. You need an email marketing setup. And in this video, I'm going to be walking you through step by step, everything you need to know about the foundational things of getting started with email marketing for Shopify. So here's exactly what we're going to go through in this video. So firstly, we're going to go over an overview of email marketing. We're going to explain to you a little basics of why it's so important. Then I'm going to go through installing Omnisend, which is what I recommend for use for Shopify. It's the best email marketing software in my opinion, just based off what I've found now myself. And then creating a new subscriber sequence, creating an abandoned cart sequence, Shopify coupon creation, and then creating a coupon opt-in. So we're going to be walking through all of that today in this video. Let's get started. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the email marketing portion of this tutorial. So this is obviously a very important part of an online business and something that's often very much overlooked by people, with the importance of it when they're first starting their own online store, and it's certainly overlooked in a lot of the other YouTube tutorials out there when they go into starting on a Shopify store. Obviously there's individual videos out there, but it's not always gone into as much in the tutorial. And I obviously wanted to make this tutorial the ultimate Shopify tutorial, so that it goes into every aspect, all the foundational important aspects to get you to absolutely hit the ground running. And I wanted to make this the ultimate Shopify tutorial, and so we're going to go now into the actual email marketing side of things. And one of the most important thing for doing that is one of the most powerful ways for doing that is offering something of value like this here, where we're going to give away 10% off for a first order, where they put in their email, and then they get a coupon, 10% coupon. And we're also going to create actually a pop-up that's going to pop up on the website when they've scrolled a little bit down. That's going to come up looking similar design wise in terms of color scheme and everything to our brand of what we've created, or whatever you guys have created. And so just having both those, so having both a pop-up as well as one down here, you're just going to increase your chances of conversion, because people, if they see a pop-up come up and it's right in front of them, it's 10% off. Like, a lot of people will actually take that up, but even if they don't, they exit. Then they've gone through all this and they come down the bottom and they see something like that again. They see 10% off there. You got 2 chances to get it. Then you start building that email list out, and obviously an email list is unbelievably important and powerful tool that you can build. One of the most important things to build, especially when you're starting out with a Shopify store. The earlier you can get onto that and get it started and get it growing, the better. So better off to just get it over and done with, get it set up now while you're already in the creation, design phase and getting it all up and running. And that's why I wanted to actually include it as part of this ultimate Shopify tutorial. All right, so what we're going to do first is we're going to go back to our I'm still in here in the editor in here, but we're going to go back to so I can show you through properly what we're going to do. So we're going to go back here and we're going to go to apps, and we're going to install an app. Okay, so what we're going to do now is go through and install Omnisend. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down into the App Store, and we're going to go to the bottom here, and we'll click All Recommended Apps, and then we're going to scroll down to the bottom again and go to the Shopify app store. And then from here, what we're going to do is we're just going to simply type in Omnisend, hit enter, go to that one, and then you're just going to simply click install. Then we're going to hit install again. Then you're going to come to this screen, which is a sign up form for the app. So we're just going to put in all your details here. And then we're just going to hit get started. Awesome. Then you're going to be brought to this section here, which I think is just incredible with Omnisend, which is you're going to actually have this area, which is a brand asset. So it's analyzed my website, brought all the colors through, and then I'm going to be able to apply that to my store now. So, sorry, for my forms and everything. So this is incredible, and not other email softwares do it that I've seen before. So yeah, really powerful stuff. And then you're just going to come through to here and then just say the one on the right here, I'll explore the platform myself because you're going to have me walking through it anyway. So just go through and select this one on the right. Okay, so once you're into Omnisend, you've installed it, you've gone through the initial part of signing up, we've gone through all that. We're going to come to this section here. Now, because I went in and actually started editing it, some of it on my own, just when I said, because I was going to test this for us to see how it works for you guys, when Klaviyo ended up not working, decided to try Omnisend, and now I've decided I actually think Omnisend's better than Klaviyo, and it's what I'm going to be using for clients as well as for my own stuff. Move across to it, but yeah, so you'll see I tried out this where they say you go through it step by step, and I actually found that we don't need to do, like, it's a bit basic what it asks us to do in there. So we're going to go through and instead just go to forms and create our own form. Okay, so what we're going to do there is just come to this one here and click forms, and you're going to see I've actually got a couple of forms already there when I was testing it out, but you guys will have nothing there. So what you're going to do is just hit create form, and then we're going to make this an embed form. So the easiest thing we can do is just click embed here, and then we're going to click this center one here that says branded email capture. For you, if you said yes at the beginning to when it did like its branding stuff, it would have made one based on your colorings of your website. So maybe you chose red, so it would have picked a red button or blue or whatever. For me, it shows the gold because it's in line with the gold that we use on our website. So all we're going to do is we'll just go to branded email capture, use template, and then when you come into here, there's not a lot we have to do in here, which is awesome because Omnisend is actually really intuitive and really good. So all we're going to do is we're going to hit on that, and we're actually going to remove that, and then we're also going to click this and we're going to remove that too, because the reason for it is because we're going to paste it in down below, and we're going to put it in here like this one was here, the placeholder one, and all we need is that, and all this will be coming from the website, not from the form itself, if that makes sense. So, sorry, we want to change this to, let's just say, get 10% discount. I'm going to say get my 10% discount. Okay, so we're just going to have that. Just a little rule of thumb with this sort of thing, a little bit of a marketing copywriting advice. When you're creating like a button, especially if it's like an opt-in, something like this, if you're giving away something, it's really powerful to just say get my whatever it is, 10% discount, you'll get your, both can work, than just saying get or just saying, just, download this or download, having something like that can be just that little step further. So it's up to you what you want to put there, but I'm going with get my 10% discount. Okay, so it just keeps things in line and like streamlined and coherent of what they're actually doing, and it can sometimes increase conversions just that tiny bit more. Okay, so next thing we want to do is we want to go back to, we want to go through here, all that's good. Then our success, we want to change this a little bit. So because we're giving someone a coupon code, so we're going to change this and we're going to make that here is your coupon. Okay, and then we're going to center that like that, and then we're going to put it in bold, and then we're going to change the font to Poppin, so it's in line with what we've been doing through our website. You'd pick whatever one you've been using on the website if it's there, or something similar. And I'm going to put that down. Well, 12's a little bit small, isn't it? Try like 20. Nah, still a bit silly. Let's go like 30. Oh, alrighty. Yeah, that's better. Here is your coupon. Then we're just going to remove that, hit delete, and now what I want to do is grab this % discount, put that there, and what that's going to do is allow us to put in a coupon code. Now we haven't created it yet in Shopify, but we are going to create it. So we're just going to go here and we're just going to type welcome 10. So that's the coupon code we're going to create for our website. And so if we give it away here, of just welcome 10. So here is your coupon, welcome 10. Easy as that. Now you could change the color scheme a bit. Maybe we change the text color to this orange here. Maybe, let's see. It's not too bad looking. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, but on the website, within the thing, I'm probably just going to go what it had, the black. So let's go like that. Okay, so here is your coupon, welcome 10. Okay, so was there anything else we wanted to change? Here, form, subscriber, embedded, branded. Let's just add one more. Let's make it so just we know in the future if we started to do things like that, we could call this homepage underscore discount. Okay, just good little one to have there as well. Okay, and then we're going to go. Is there anything else we wanted to do? I just want to make sure we've got the form, email, 10%. Awesome. Let's hit enable form, and then you're going to get this code here. Okay, so what I want you to do is copy that code. Okay, and then I want you to go back to Shopify. So we're going to go back to Shopify and we're going to go to your GemPages builder, and then we're going to go to here. So remember that's under apps, GemPages builder. Then we click here on our website that we've been building out. And then what we want to do is we want to go down here to the bottom, and we had this just as our placeholder. So we don't actually want to use that one because it's actually not applicable anymore. It's not applicable. It's going nowhere, and it was just essentially a placeholder one because it's not an Omnisend one, and it's not set up to work. We just wanted it there, so we had it there ready as a bit of a placeholder. So I'm going to hit that and remove that. And what you're going to go to search, then you just type in Omni, and that's going to take you to apps, Omnisend, and you're going to drag and put that there. And then you're going to grab this, put it into the center like that. Okay, so just center, align in the center. Then you're going to change the landing page to embedded, and then you're just simply going to Control V, whatever it is on Mac, and you're going to paste that in there. Okay, and then you hit save and publish like that. Okay, and then that's going to put it in there, but we're going to fix this up here because that's going to get us in a bit of trouble being all the way up there like that now. So let's put at the top of here 100. That's probably a bit much. Put 50 up here. Actually, maybe 75. 75 there. Whatever. Just try it around for you. So I'll put on that top one there, and let's get that there. Let's hit save and publish. Now let's go have a look at it on our store. So let it load again. No, it's not loading the right one. I want to do that again. So then we go down to the bottom, and there we go. Look at that. Awesome. So it's placed there, which is really good. So that's the first part. So people could type their email in there. So I'm going to test it out, and then see they click that, and then they get, here is your coupon, welcome 10, and then when they hit that, they copy that, and then they'd be able to use that at the checkout once we've created it, and you would have that in there. Okay, so we're having a little bit of issue with sizing. It's okay if it's going to push it a little bit, because this has got its own sizing. It might push that up when you go through. But I did notice when we actually, like before we even pressed it, there was a bit of an issue with it, which I want to fix. I don't want to leave that. I want to get it nice and neat. So if we come back here again, yeah, so there's a little bit of issue going on here. Let's figure this out. So if we're coming back here, let's put, for this whole thing here, let's put a, it's probably not going to help either. Let's put a 25 up here. Has this got its own little thing around it? No. If you want to put that there, is what I got around it. Yeah, let's change this and make this not so far away. Let's just change that to 0, and let's put this here to 50. Try that out. Let's see what that's like. Publish that. Yeah, cool. So it's already looking a little bit better again. So you might want to have to play around with it a bit until you get it right. So if we come back again here, I'm going to change that again to 100. And that's going to put it really push it there. And then we're going to hit save. Then we're going to hit publish. Then we're going to check it again. Let's have a look at that again now. That's already looking much better. Much better. Okay. There's still quite a big gap between here and here, but I think that's going to be more so the actual, we've created it inside, so it's created a newsletter, Omnisend inside the newsletter. I'm going to remove that altogether and just put the element in there, and if we go to back to Omnisend again and hit this, drag that in there, okay, that's going to be better, and then we drag across and then embed that. This is going to be much better. Okay, so now we don't have to have this crazy thing here. We can probably go back to 25 for that. And this one here, we can go advanced and we can go to 10. Let's check this. So again, we're going to go back here and we're going to copy this one from in our within here again. We're going to hit copy, and then we're going to go back and we're going to put it in again, now embed code, and we're going to test that out. So we're going to hit publish and we're going to hit that. Let's have a look at what that's like now. So we've got that all going, and let's go back to our live page and going down to the bottom here, and look at that. That is absolutely crisp as that's, yeah, you can't get much crisper than that. Nice, awesome, guys. So that is that ready to go for us. So the next one we want to actually go through and create is we want to create a pop-up. So this one's actually really easy as well. So we've got that all ready to go. So we're going to go back to Omnisend, and we've got this form already done. So we're going to go click this one here to go back. Then we're going to go create form, and then we're going to go to pop-up instead, untick embedded, go to pop-up. And then we're going to find a branded pop-up. There'll be one there for us. This one here. I like this one. So we're just going to click this one here, and then we're going to go use template. And then we're going to go through get 10% off your first order. and we could change this to an ongoing exclusive deals and ongoing exclusive. Get your 10% on an ongoing and offers, something like that. And you could say change this to get 10% off. You could have that, or get my 10% off. Might just go with this one, just get 10% off. Get 10% off your first order and ongoing exclusive deals and offers. Cool. So that there, and then frequency show up. So this is where we want to do a little bit more. So scheduling always available. Okay, we want to have that, and then we want to have targeting. So decide where you want to show this form on a visitor. Visitor targeting options, all visitors. So you could have it don't show to existing contacts. So if it registers that it's someone already signed into an account on your account, their account, and they're on there, we're just going to leave it as just everyone at the moment. And then set not to show for email, SMS, and push from Omnisend. Yeah, cool. So leave that one on, and then page targeting appears on URL, doesn't appear on URL, appears on page out of stock products. Okay, we're going to leave that for now. And then visibility, show on all devices. Yep, we want on both desktop and mobile. Frequency, don't show after interacting with the form 1 day. Limit form appearance, don't show after again. So it'll wait 1 day before. Yeah, we want all that. And then, yeah, cool. Let's go. Can we change though? The only thing I want to change is I also want to do the, I'm also going to add that in. Cool. So we're going to change homepage discount. We're going to add that one in for us. And then in terms of display, I'm pretty happy with that. Page rules. So this is what I was looking for. So I want to go through and change it to when it displays. Like, you don't want to just come up when you've put all this work into a nice looking website right at the top. So let's change it to scroll depth, and we're going to do the scroll 50% of the way. That's usually a good amount. We've scrolled about halfway. So they've shown a bit of intention. And then we could also have one time on page. So maybe they've been there for 60 seconds, so a minute would be another one. I might even do 2 minutes, so 120 seconds for that one, just so we have, if they're just idling at the top there, we can have that too. Okay, we don't want to have that. And so we want scroll depth 50%, time on page, and then let's go back. Let's just make sure everything else is good. Visibility, and awesome. So then we're just going to hit enable form. So the awesome thing about that is that one, theoretically now, that pop-up should be already just work on our website now on the homepage, theoretically. Because sometimes there can be issues with these things, but we're just going to make sure, we're just going to test it out and see. So let's first go to here, and let's go to review this. Let's pretend we're starting from the top. We're going to go to the real page because it's not going to work on a dummy one of it. So we're going to go to here. Let's pretend we're really on the page. And then, remember we did about 50% scroll. So I'm going to scroll down to about 50%. And look at that. Awesome. And it popped up like that, which is amazing. So, and it looks really good. And they're just going to type in their email, and then they're going to get the next part of it. Okay. So you can just quickly go back. If we want to go back to this is where all your forms are. You click on the form you just made. Now, we are going to edit this name just so that we know what it is. So we're going to call it home page pop-up. I'm just going to call it that. And then hit update. And then we're going to change what's step 2 here? Yeah. I don't want that. We don't need that of joining a phone one. You don't need to get their phone. You can if you want, if you really want to have that, but when you're just starting out, because you can have it as they can skip it, but I honestly think we don't need to. Yeah, it's up to you. You could have that, but you're gonna have to pay to be sending out text messages anyway. So when you're just starting out, probably not necessary. I'm gonna delete that one. So I'm just going to go from form to success. Thanks for signing up. As a thank you, you'll find a 10% discount in your inbox. Okay, so that's if they're already subscribed, what it'll look like. Cool. You could always even do, like, just for the sake of, like, for people, sometimes things can get lost in email and like that. You're better off to just, from my opinion, to just put it there for people as well. So you could have thanks for signing up as a thank you. Thanks. Yeah, we might even change that, to be honest. Get your Tim's. So I'm just making an executive decision. I'm going to change that actually. So I'm going to change this to here is your discount, like that. And then center that, and then we're going to make that bold, and then we're going to change it to Poppins again, like this, and then we'll change that to a little bit bigger again. We went about 50 on the other one. Let's go like 50 there. Oh, I don't like that. No. 40. Okay, and then we're going to drag that there and then put in what I remember. Welcome 10. And you can also say here, you can say something like, you will also receive, don't forget to check, don't forget to also check your emails and subscribe for more deals. Okay, and then hit update live form. Cool, so that is all good. That means that the form that's on our page now will go through and it'll do its thing, which is awesome. So well done. So that's the first part. You've just done something massive. You've gone through and you've set up your a form for yourself, which is going to start getting your emails, and then you've also set up one that's going to automatically appear. 2 ways to start getting emails, and this is something that, like I said, email marketing is massive, but overlooked, and it's, starting it right from the beginning and doing it well like this is going to just put you way ahead. And I'm very proud of you for coming along and getting through to this portion where we've done this. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit extra stuff. So this is optional whether you want to do it, because you're still given the discount code, but if you want to take it to that tiniest bit further, I'm just going to show you quickly how we can create a little bit of a mini sequence when they fill out this, they get their 10% discount, just to give them a little bit of a further, bit of bonus and building that trust with them through what's called a new subscriber sequence, which is essentially, you gave them something of value, which might have been an ebook, or it could be this 10% discount, and then you use this as a way to actually, instead of just giving them something and that's it, they don't hear from you, and then you just sell things to them only, there's a way you build that initial trust really quickly by explaining some of your story, your brand, what it's about, da-da-da-da-da. We're going to show you through how we can do that, and then, I'm going to set that up for you. Rightio, so we're going to head back onto Omnisend to do that. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is create our new subscriber sequence. Now, you'll see that it has an option here where we can hit create our welcome workflow. Now, I've tested it out, what they give you, and it's just a very basic 10% discount thing that just says, hey, thanks for subscribing, here's 10% discount. Like, it doesn't feel personalized, and it doesn't feel anywhere near as good as we could do. It could, honestly, if you want to do it quick, you can skip this part that I'm showing you now, and you just create this, let it do the work for you. You know, it's still going to suffice. It's going to be better than a lot of people that don't even do that. However, if you want to do it well, you want to do it properly, here's how we can go through and set up an automation yourself that then once it's set up and ready to go, you know, it's just going to be running on autopilot. So we're going to go here and go to automation, and then we're going to go to explore all workflows. So you just want to make your own. Don't go preview, because that's going to then try and start make one for you. We wanted to make it ourselves. So we're going to get here, and then they've got the welcome one, customize workflow, abandoned chart. So they've got recommended ones already. I'm just going to say create from scratch. So okay, so we're going to come in here, and what we're going to do now is we're going to set up our workflow. So what we're going to go through here is we're going to click on here, and we're going to go set up our trigger. So you're going to have all these triggers down. I've already picked one, which is what you guys want to go to, which is subscribe to marketing. So they've subscribed to, which means they've clicked on the email. So if they've actually got a discount code, and then they've found the email from us, and they've hit, hey, I want to, sign up for, we all know what they are. When you've signed up, say you want to join their newsletter or their list. So we're going to see when they've subscribed to marketing, and then let's leave that. Frequency, skip contacts who have already been in this automation in the last 1 day. Yeah, keep that. Let's leave all that, update that. Cool. So now we want to add a next one. So there we have here, we want to have, so they've done it. So this is going to be right away. We're going to have an email happen. So they've happened here, email we sent to subscribe contacts. So when they've first signed up, and now we're going to go through and we're going to create our 3-part email new subscriber sequence. So, okay, so what we're going to do here, looks confusing, but trust me, I'm going to help you guys through it. And this is an amazing skill set that you're learning right here. That's going to, once you know how you do this, you're going to get better and better. And again, you are learning skills that are putting you way ahead of most of other, people when they first start a Shopify, an online Shopify store for themselves. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to ChatGPT now. So because we're creating this new subscriber sequence. So you've already dragged your email in, you grab this, put it in there. Now we're going to create our new subscriber sequence. So in your tab that you've been using for your business, your brand, the same one we've been using for all our about and everything, rule of thumb, don't start a new one each time you want to do ChatGPT, like you want to do something for your brand. Keep it in the one thread, so that, because ChatGPT learns more and more within the one thread. So if you start a new thread, it has to start pretty much again. Okay, so it is getting to the point where it remembers between threads, but it's still not perfect. So you want to just keep the one thread for your business, and that can eventually fill up and you create another one. But I'll create down the track, I can create more really detailed ChatGPT stuff. For today, just know, keep your same branded one and keep going on with it, because then we can do this. So we can say, for this brand, so you can say something like, can you please write me a 3 email new subscriber sequence. If I can spell subscriber, we're going to leave that anyway. New subscriber sequence for this brand to help build initial trust. I'm not doing too much typing today. To help build initial trust and connection with my brand. Let's see what it comes up with that, and then I'll show you how we can make it better if it doesn't come up too good. Okay, so I'm going to put that in. Absolutely. Here, the new subscribers on the glassware brand. The tone is warm, artful, trusting. So it's gonna do it based on what you like your brand is. It'll figure out what's gonna work for you. But let's go have a look. So from a copywriter here, I'm gonna tell you whether I think it's that good. So welcome to the world of whatever your brand name is. So hey, first name, welcome. I'm not gonna read it out the whole thing. Don't worry, but I'll skim read it. Welcome to here at brand name. We believe our objects we surround ourselves should be do more than function. They should inspire. That's why every piece of glass we make calm the soul into space. Whether you're sipping or forgetting sacred. Thanks for joining us. We'll be sending a few more emails soon, including behind the scenes peeks, special gift as a thank you. Yeah, it's not too bad. The story behind the glass. Yeah, cool. So it's done. That's what I was looking for. So I wanted one that was a story behind the glass. Something like the story behind our brand. So this would be where you're going more into why you created it, and this is where you would work with ChatGPT to figure this out, and you could say to it just giving a few tips here. Like you could have the first one introducing yourself if you wanted to, if you want to do that, like you the brand owner, and you could do something like that. Or you can introduce the brand, and then after that the story, and then after that it can be like a thank you thing like this. Okay, so really awesome. We're going to go with what it's given us first. Again, you can go back and forth. I'm not going to go like unbelievable detail here because we could spend hours here on how good we could make it. But it's still going to be, you're going to be way ahead of anyone else creating something like this, a new subscriber sequence little thing. So what we're going to do is okay, so what we want to do now is take all that information and put it into that we just created from a new subscriber sequence, and we're going to put it into this email. Now I showed you now I've gone through and I showed you one that we quickly came up with the glassware idea, the glassware fake business that ended up turning into one we're doing in here. But I've also got one here that I built out. The new subscriber sequence for the actual fake mock supplement brand. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to show you, we're going to put them in. It's easy as we just go and copy what it has. So it's got your 10% off and a better way to supplement. So we've got that, and then we're going to go copy that, and we're going to go through back to here. I'm going to put the subject header. And to be honest, I'm actually going to change that because that might get flagged, the 10% off. I'm just going to say I'm going to change that your 10% off to your discount plus a better way to supplement. Okay, and then the pre-header we're just going to put in a quick introduction, because it's a quick introduction to us. Okay, and then sender's name, so we're going to put in Optimal Supplements. Okay, and then we've got all that. So we're going to see that there's nothing in there yet. That's what it's looking like there inside of our email. But we're going to change that. So we're going to change this to update. So we're going to change the inside edit content of this email. So we're going to change this edit contact. Yes, save. So this is where we're going to put in our information. So we're going to go here and we're going to just copy and paste this here, and hit copy, and then we're going to go back to Omnisend, and we're going to grab this and we're going to hit Control V and put it in there like that. And so this where it's got your CTA of shop bestsellers now. Yeah, we could have that, but just to make things easy, we're going to just have it as it is like this. Okay, and now something not everyone might agree on with it, but I actually say don't have too many emojis. It just it can sometimes affect it being found. So, being found, reaching them if you've got too many emojis. So you can have bold and everything, but you might, and you could have these ones, but I'm not a fan of having too many. You can try it if you like, but you're better off to just have them simple, and not having too much going on. Otherwise, you run the chance of issues happening. Okay, so then we just want to put in here. So it's put in the first name thing here. So we just want to make that. Awesome. So we actually want to make it so that so we can actually fix this up even more, because that first name isn't going to be set up for working for Omnisend. So we can quickly go back here and we could actually say, can you adjust these? Can you adjust these for the contact first name to be to use the liquid syntax for Omnisend. So all that's going to do is make it so that we can just copy and paste it, and it'll already have the Omnisend, what it requires for it actually display the person's contact first name, because every single one uses different what are called syntaxes. You can go and add them in yourself, but in the day and age of ChatGPT, we can make this even easier for ourselves. Okay, cool. So it's done that for us. So now we've got it with the liquid syntax already there. And we're going to just put this one in here. So it's given us there, but from then the rest of them, you can just copy and paste the whole thing. Okay, and because it'll have each of them now with the appropriate syntax little thing so that it makes it come up properly. So we've got that in there. And then we're going to go remove this one and hit delete on there. And then we're going to go through, and I'm pretty happy with that. Those will be okay, usually, ones like that. And then I don't know why we've got these extra ones here. And then we're going to do that. So automatically we'll, so you have to have that there. So that just displays your address and everything like that, and your email address, your email, and unsubscribe. So we can actually, I think it will allow us to remove these. No, it won't. Okay, so you have to have those there by law. Those ones there, some do actually allow you to remove some of them, just have the unsubscribe and that. But we're going to leave that there. Okay, so then that one's done finishing editing. So we hit finish editing for that. So that's our first email done. Well done, guys. We've created your first flow email done. So then we're going to do we're going to do a delay here. And we're going to say, we're definitely not going to be 1 minute. We're going to do a day, 1 day. And then we're going to have email and drag in here. Yeah, cool. So there's that, and then we'll go to this next email, and all we need to do is go back here, and we go to our email 2. I'm going to copy that back into Omnisend there. So the subject line, I'm just going to say a bit of our story, because that's like your pre-header. Like you just think of something that's like your little intro that people are going to see, and then sender's name. You're going to do optimal. Well, you can do whatever your brand name is, and then you're going to go edit content. We're going to create this one here. Yes, save. And then all we need to do is drag in our stuff again. So we're going to go to content, and then we're going to go down to here, and we're going to go drag this in here, place it in there, and we're going to remove that, delete that, remove this, delete that, remove that. What's it doing? Been a bit silly, isn't it? Okay, let's delete that on us. Okay, then go back to content, and we're going to put this one in here just with the text, drop that in there. We want to remove that, and we just want to have this text here, and then we're just going to go back to here, copy the body in, and I'm not going to go through just for now and delete all the emojis because you guys know to do that. Ideally remove those, most of them. Okay, so we've got that, and just space everything out. But for so here we could have this. So this would be explore the optimal supplement difference. So you could remove this here, and you could put a link in. So all you would need to do here is just literally highlight that, and then we can put a link. So if we go to the link here, we've highlighted that, insert link, you put your website URL. Okay, so that would be an easy way. At the bottom you could link to your your website. So there's that. Obviously go through and tidy this up a little bit, make it nice and neat and spaced out properly. Okay, but I'm not going to do all that right now. So I'm going to say I finished editing. So there's that one. And then we're going to do one more email. So we're going to do delay again. I'm going to wait 1 day. And then we're going to hit update. Leave that. Actually, we want to do the next one in there. So we're going to put the email in, and this is our final email. And all we want to do is go back to here, and we go to email 3, and we go to what people are saying, and what we say first, what to try first. So this is like a little saying that these are the 3 that people use the most, You'd work this out, what you're happy with those 3 emails, but I'm just showing you how you can use it to speed this whole process up. And then pre-header, just people's thoughts on our supplements. Something like that. And then sender's name, obviously you know this now, put in whatever your brand name is, or yourself. And then finally we go edit content, and then you hit yes, save. We come back here, and we copy our 3rd and final one from here. We just copy that, copy through, and then we're going to go back to Omnisend, click here, and hit content, and go to our text again, and drag it in there. Make sure it's below the, we can drag that one up, it might make it easier. Delete this one, then just copy and paste it in there, and do everything again. It hasn't done the high. So we're going to put in high there, and we'd optimize this a little bit more. We'd obviously remove those. You wouldn't have those things like that, and then you just link to your website again. So then that would be our 3 ones. Remember, we want to balance this out and everything, and make it look neat. If you want to change the font size, easy enough. We just go through there and change the font size, make it a nice size, and then we're just going to go finish editing. Okay. So again, I would like to ideally make that look neater, but for the sake of showing you guys today, we're just doing it like this. Okay. And then that is our sequence. So it's started when they subscribe to our marketing, they get a discount, they get the first introduction email talking about us and our brand and everything like that. And then why we started, which is building more connection with you. And then finally a final one of testimonial type things and everything like that. Awesome, guys. You've got your first automation. Should be proud of yourself. That is awesome. And then a new subscriber sequence is a bit more of an advanced type email marketing thing. So you've just set that up for yourself you've hit the ground running, and now you know how to do it. You can edit it at any time and change it around. So we're just going to hit update there, and then we're just going to hit start workflow. So all that means is now it's enabled, it's ready to go. And let's just change the name of this custom workflow actually. Edit here, and let's just call it new subscriber sequence. New subscriber sequence. Awesome, guys. Okay, and hit update and publish changes. And then exit them from the workflow. What's we doing here? Changes will be applied only to the newly entered contacts. Choose what to do with those. So just have that. There's not going to be anyone on it anyway, so it doesn't matter what you really do for those. And yeah, so that is how we can set up a new subscriber sequence. Yeah, that is going to put you way ahead of everyone else with a lot of people when they start out, so well done with that. Okay, the final thing I'm going to show for the email marketing side of things. Now we're not going to go into this in super depth. There's a lot more we could go into, and I don't want to, I want as much as I want to give as much value as possible. I also don't want to overwhelm you by giving you too much to do too soon. So, but something that's very powerful is having what is called abandoned cart emails set up, so that these are some of the best ways to convert, potential sales and bring them back, and that's essentially what an abandoned cart sequence is. So, again, this is made very easy and simple from Omnisend, and you could, I know I said for these two to go and do it on our own. But because we're doing a very basic one just for our abandoned cart, I'm going to show you how we can just do it through the setup process here that Omnisend gives us when we sign up. Okay, so you'd want to go down to the third step here of your 4 goals, and then you want to click set up recovery workflows. So this is to set up some abandoned cart and checkout emails. So you just go to set up recovery workflows, and then follow the prompts. So turn on abandoned cart and checkout workflows. Select a discount for the 3rd email. So we're going to go 10%, and then we're going to go start workflows. And then we've got it great. You're now recovering abandoned carts and checkouts. So yeah, okay, awesome. What's it telling us here? Yeah, so we just stay on the free plan. We don't need to go to pro unless you really want to yet, but you may as well stay on free until you've reached your limit of 250 contacts. Okay, so you're just going to go here and just say stay on free plan and continue. So you're now recovering abandoned carts and checkouts. Okay, and then just hit continue. Awesome. Now, as easy as that, you've just set up a basic abandoned cart sequence that will be on autopilot for you, just from literally a click of a button. It's now in the back end, and it's gone through and it's set up automations for you. So if we have a look here, if we click in automation, you'll see the abandoned cart is already set up to go, and those ones are already there. And the one we also set up, the new subscriber sequence is there, but we also have these two, the abandoned carts, that were both enabled and set up on their own. We don't have to think about it, and that is, that's awesome. Which is, amazing, because, that sort of thing can usually take a bit of time to set up, and now you've got it in place, and it's one of the most important things to have when you've got a Shopify store running, is just to have your abandoned carts ready to go. Okay, so now that we've gone through and set up our email marketing, we've got it ready to go through Omnisend, we've integrated it into our website, everything's ready to go. We need to now just make sure that we actually set up the discount code to be working within Shopify, so that when people actually type it in, it's going to work for them, our welcome 10. So very easy to do. All we need to do for this is we just go to this section here called discounts. In your dashboard, you're going to go to here, discounts, and then you're going to hit create discount, and then you're going to go amount off product, and then you're just going to type in welcome 10 in uppercase, because that's how we did it. So we're going to make sure we do uppercase welcome 10, and then we're going to go leave it on percentage and go 10%, and then you're going to go for specific collections. You're going to change this to products, and then you're just going to go and select your products through here. So you're just going to tick all your products that you have, go through and do that and hit add. You could also go through by if you went through collections, you can tick off your collections, whichever way you find is going to be easier. They're your two options. I've just, because we don't have a lot of products on this mock site, we're just going to select all 4 of those products like that. So it's just going to apply, make sure that they're applied to all the products. Now the good thing about this is you could say maybe there's some you don't want to apply a 10% discount for whatever reason. So you could select the certain ones you do and you don't. So that's why I'd recommend going to specific products over specific collections, but it's going to be up to you what you want to do here. Okay, and then moving down here, just leave it on all customers, so it's everyone can use it. And then this one here, minimum requirements, just go no minimum requirements. So you're better off when you're just starting out trying to give out the discount to as much people. So you can obviously get their email, but also giving value to people and gives them a reason to buy. So you just want to go no minimum requirements. That's the best one. But if you wanted, you could say minimum purchase of a certain amount, and then you could say $5, $10, $20, $50, whatever you want. Okay, and then this one here is maximum discount uses. Up to you, but I probably would tick this when you're just first starting out. So you're making it something that is exclusive, that you can only use once at the beginning when you first sign up, or if you want to keep it on for people to use as many times as they want, it'd be up to you. But you can tick this one, and it just means that only one use per customer. So they use it when they first sign up, and then after that they don't get it again. This one would be even better if you're doing like a 20% or a 15% special discount when they first sign up. So you would make that welcome 15, welcome 20 if that's what you'd done. But we're just going with the 10% discount, and I'm just going to say here you limit to 1 use per customer, and then here we can just leave all this unticked, and then here it's just going to pick a time, so which is just going to start right now. Okay, and then you just don't tick end date, because then that would mean that it would just go on forever for you. So you want to leave that unticked. If you did want to tick this, that'd only be if you're doing like a special discount code and you wanted to promote that in an email maybe that only went for a week, then you'd obviously hit a set an end date. But for this specific purpose, we're just making this universal welcome 10 that can be used forever when people sign up and put in their email from the homepage. Okay, so that's easy as that. All filled out, all done. Then you're just going to hit save discount. And then that's done there. So you've got this discount all added in, done. And if we have a look back now at our discounts, it'll be in there. And there you go. So it says it's applied to 10% off of 4 products. It's got your used here, so it's not used by no one yet because it's just started. But this is how you can track how many are using it. And yeah, it says that it's active. So there you go. That's how you easily set up your discount code. So now that you've done all your marketing set up and you've got this, everything is ready to rock and roll, ready to go. And now we can move on to the final section, which is going to be our SEO. All right, that's it for this video. So if you found this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe, and either check out the full tutorial or the series linked below, plus my free Shopify launch pack that's linked in the description as well. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.